Hello everyone, welcome to Pancake Draws. I'm your host Paincaked, and today's video is a commission for my good friend Scott Boyd, or also known as Scottoons. We've known each other for I don't know, it's probably been a couple months now. He messaged me back earlier on in the middle of 2016 there. I think the first thing he actually he messaged me about was what brushes I used for Manga Studio, and then from there he invited me to his Discord server, which is for Pyro Panda, which is an up-and-coming site him and a bunch of other people are working on. I'm basically just like an artist slash contributor for that site, and then occasionally I'll give them feedback on what I think looks good and what doesn't, only because I have a little bit of graphic design sense, because that's what I'm in school for, so should probably use my knowledge to help out in any way I can. And the site's coming along. I don't know when it's actually going to be out, or if I'm even allowed to talk about it, so I think I'm allowed to talk about it. They have a Twitter and everything, so yeah. But that's pretty much all I'll say about the site. It's kind of like a mixed media, in probably from what I've gotten, it's kind of like an essence to like Newgrounds along those lines. That kind of stuff. You can upload videos, forum stuff, art, animation, all that jazz. It's fun stuff. When it comes out, be sure to have like a little celebration video, because that'll be a cool milestone for Pyro Panda, for Scott, and for myself. So yeah, Scott he's a good buddy. We've talked a bit, and then he wanted me to commission him of his avatar here, like his little Scottoons avatar. He's got no pupils, so I didn't forget to draw them. It's a specific design feature of his avatar, is there is no pupils. And his hair is roughly based on like Toon Link's. You probably see the similarities to that, and the overall pose on this, since his name is Scott, we decided that hey, should do that to one Scott Pilgrim pose, where he's got his finger pointing out, fist ready, big grin on his face. He's ready to blast. As Jimmy Neutron would. He's got a blast, ready to fight. And yeah, so with this, during this part of the illustration process, I'm doing the inking, which I think I have been getting a lot better at recently, and I think I'm only going to continue to get better at, because I found the last two videos that I've done, and this video here, you're not going to see a little portion of the inking process, which I'm sorry about. I just always keep forgetting to record sometimes when I'm just like playing around doing cleanup, because I don't think watching me do cleanup is very interesting, and I also think that it's kind of a like, don't know what I'm doing, because I'm basically just going in and like sharpening up some of the lines and such. But what I have found is that if you look here, my line's kind of thin and there's not a whole lot of line width variation, but I can go back in afterwards and manually thicken up certain parts, and it just, it makes the illustration look that much better. The line, like my inking, looks a lot more dynamic and clean. Well, it still looks clean now, but I mean, like, it's got varying line width, which is a nice aesthetic that I like to do, and I never could get it before, because I used to always just try and be like, oh well, if I don't have dynamic line width with just one pen stroke, then that's no good. You can see I did add a little bit of thickness right there in the video actually, but from doing some illustration classes at my university, like when we do any of the traditional media, sorry, still a little bit sick here. When we do any of the traditional media, it's I always go for inking my work, because that's just kind of my style. I don't like doing like lineless or like painterly style. I'm always pen and ink and cell shading. That's my gig. Okay, what I was saying was about that is, like, with the traditional media, once I drew my lines, I'd go back in and thicken them up manually, because they would all be one width anyways, and that got me thinking, if I bring that over into the digital media, maybe I can get those more dynamic lines too. And you can see with some of the stuff in the piece here, like even with the foot right here, adding just that little bit of thickness on some of those lines makes it look like it was done with like a calligraphy pen. Not a calligraphy pen, but like one of those fountain pens that's you can get those varying widths with. It just overall makes the piece look that much better. It's quite an improvement to the style, and I'm definitely going to be using that in the future. I did do some more playing around with that white line art style, and basically I've come to the conclusion that it works best if you only use it when your piece has really dramatic lighting, like if you have a visible bright light source coming from something somewhere, then you would use it. If it's just like a piece or illustration, I say piece too much, I don't like the word piece for a drawing. If you do an illustration like this, like I didn't do any white outline on this illustration, I think I might have tried it in the video, but then the final piece I did not include it because it just didn't work. If there's no like super bright white light source, I don't find it works that well. So each illustration I do, I learn a little more. That's, I guess, the life of being a self-taught artist, is each piece you learn some more, kind of like Caillou. Except I learn more instead of grow more, and I'm not a boy of 4. Maybe mentally I am, but physically I'm a boy of 19. It's a big boy. And in the video here, which I've been negating talking about again, but I don't know, do you guys like it if I just kind of talk and ramble, or do you like it if I talk about the actual illustration process? Because I found with a few of my other videos, when I talk about that kind of stuff, it just turns into rambling. Not even rambling, sorry, it just turns into like me repeating the same stuff that I've said in every other video that I've commentated on, and it's starting to get repetitive, I find. So if I kind of like just mix it up and just talk about, it's a little bit easier to make it feel more natural instead of me going like, and now we are coloring the piece here. We're adding some soft shading and my second layer multiply shading, which I've talked about in every video, that kind of thing. I don't find it's that interesting. I like this more rambly style commentary, which I'm doing right now. I'm probably going to stick with it, but if you had feedback about that, I'd much appreciate it. And if you look in here, the video is just about done. We are just going to add some space details to the piece, and I called it piece again. I don't know why I always call it piece. It's an illustration of the piece. Piece kind of sounds weird. Adding stars, did a little bit of gradients and airbrushing. Stars by hand isn't actually that bad, and Scott liked this piece a lot. I hope you do too, and until next time, I'll catch you later. Okay, bye. Okay, so this video isn't actually completely over yet. I found this one to be on a little short side, so I figured this video is going to be the best one to talk about the fact that I am open for commissions. Actually, the fact that this video was a commission is also a good one to talk about, that I am open for commissions. And more importantly, I've revamped my commission page. It's new and improved, it looks nicer, looks cleaner. I did raise the prices slightly. This was a bit of a tough decision, but I was talking to my illustration teacher, showing him what my current prices were and asking him if this was a fair price to be charging. He thinks I should be charging a lot more, so I didn't quite charge as much as he was suggesting I do, because I still wanted it for people who were interested but might not have a lot of money, can still purchase commissions from me. So I raised my final like full shaded prices. They are now $40 instead of $35. My flat commissions are $30. My line art is $25 because my line art's improved a lot since I first opened up commissions, and I think line art is my strongest suit, so that's why it's those prices. And my sketches are finally $15 because sketching still does take me a while, and I like to make sure it still looks nice, it's still clean enough that you can see what's going on. They're not just really fast scribbles, they still take me, sometimes it can take me over an hour to get these sketches done. because I'm a little bit on the slow side, but I also think for my current art style, they work nice. You can see I'll probably be scrolling, probably have like the commission pages going through the top at this point, so you can see them all. And now that I have told you guys about that, links will be for that stuff in the description. Now is the actual end of the video, so thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, be sure to leave a like or a comment. If you never want to miss a video from me, make sure to hit that subscribe button while you're at it. This is Paincaked from Paincaked Draws, and until next time, I'll see you later.